two types of appraisers will emerge from this market shift. Those who have been doing the hard work of relationship building with their clients and stellar systems and processes, exactly what you preach, and others that are going to not be as focused on that, and it's going to show in kind of the volume allocations.
Originating from deep inside the Rocky Mountains, transported through the power of the internet, and arriving inside your tiny earbuds. It's the Appraiser Coach Podcast, helping appraisers increase their efficiency, quality, and make more money. Here's the guy who makes it his life's mission to create value for real estate appraisers nationwide. Your host and the Appraiser Coach, Dustin Harris.
Welcome to the program, everybody. Dustin Harris hanging out once again with you. We're going to talk about the market, folks. I know this is something that's been on your brain. It has to be on your brain because it's affecting everybody. I want to first shout out to the sponsors. Of course, we are sponsored by Working RE Magazine. Folks, that's where I go to find out what's going on in the industry. You should be as well. It's workingre.com. Working RE is in realestate.com. A la mode, of course, leading the world in report writing software. Why? Well, find out more by going to alamode.com or pick up the phone and call them. And of course, our new sponsor here, SYNAPSE, helping you to support your adjustments, helping you to know what's going on in your report and not just guessing. Check them out by going to spark4appraisers.com and clicking on the little blue button that says find out more about SYNAPSE. Again, it is SYNAPSE for appraisers. You can find out more by going to spark4appraisers.com. I want to welcome back to the program a returning guest. He is the CEO and the founder of True Footage. He is a Harvard MBA. He's been involved in real estate most of his life, originally from New York. Mr. John Liss, welcome back.
It's good to be here again, Dustin. Thanks for having me.
Well, it's great to have you, and especially with this topic. And we're going to be talking a little bit about the market, and I don't know if you want to call it a down market or a cyclical market, but I wanted to have you on the program because I think you kind of have a unique vantage point on the national stage in your current role as CEO of True Footage. Talk to us about what's going on right now, John, with mortgages and specifically with appraisals.
Yeah, I mean, I don't need to bore everyone with the statistics. We all know applications are down. All the, articles are bleak on macro, inflation, interest rates, gas prices, blah, blah, blah. I think those with a vision and those with a plan, there's a massive opportunity here. And, what I think is important, and I know that you teach to your students, Dustin, is not to have a defeatist attitude. And there's a way to be extremely successful in this environment, whether it's doing more client work, getting your quality better, improving your processes, good communication with your customers, speed. And so I think even though the market is down a little bit, there's definitely ways to navigate and come out the other side extremely successful. And that's kind of what we're telling our appraisers and what's actually happening on the ground.
Let's talk more about what's going on. And I think it's obvious to everybody. Obviously, what we're dealing with here is higher interest rates. And as you pointed out, there's a lot of reasons for that. And of course, you're going to see a dip, if you will, at least initially. But when you think about it, I mean, even interest rates of 6%, not too many years ago, interest rates of 6% were that was a good interest rate, right? Do you find this dip in appraisals and mortgage lending and purchases to be more of a temporary thing, or do you think this is kind of the new norm going forward?
Look, what I say is death taxes appraisals. There's always going to be a need for appraisals. And appraisers have had it really good for the last 10 years, right? With overwhelming volume. And obviously things have changed as we knew that they would, and the market has shifted. But with so many appraisers down a little, there's a lot of opportunity to sort of come out of it the other side by focusing on the things that you can control, controlling speed, controlling accuracy, controlling revisions, leveraging technology to improve your reports. And so when I think about it, whether it's the new norm or not, we don't have a crystal ball. So we're kind of just more focusing on the things that we can control. And I think two types of appraisers will emerge from this market shift. Those who have been doing the hard work of relationship building with their clients and stellar systems and processes, exactly what you preach, and others that are going to not be as focused on that. And it's going to show in kind of the volume allocations.
So my question, I guess, let's say you're one of those appraisers who hasn't done a lot of networking, who hasn't done a lot of processes, analysis and curtailing and quality and all of these things that we know are important to make sure that we're the winners, if you will, in the market. Is it too late, John?
No, I mean, it's never too late, right? You can always wake up and change your outcomes and change your attitudes, or at least come out swinging and trying. I mean, I'm definitely a positive person. We're aggressively hiring in this market. You know, we're still seeing tons and tons of volume from all of our customers. And so I would never, ever tell anyone it's too late. For sure, you know, people are struggling, and there's going to be people that leave the industry, you know, whether that's naturally because people are reaching retirement or because they're just finding it too hard to fight. But it's definitely not too late. And there's tons of things that people can be doing to focus on optimizing, you know, the current market, working with customers that are more focused on products that are still active, adding ways to make yourself more efficient so that you can deliver faster, focusing on making sure that you don't have revisions so that you can get more work out the door, you know, every week, and really kind of focusing on the things that you can control. And it's never too late.
So you said something there, John, that I want to circle back to and make sure it wasn't just a throwaway comment, because you said that you specifically True Footage, and I know you just had your 1 year anniversary. Happy birthday. I mean, super cool. And you are currently, True Footage is currently the leader, the biggest appraisal company in, I guess, the world, right?
I mean, I don't know. I don't think there's any rankings. We have hundreds of appraisers in many states, and we are different because we're an appraiser-centric model, and we don't have any association with an appraisal management company, although we love working with them. But we're excited, and we're continuing to grow. We're adding new markets. We're bringing on new people in existing markets, and we believe that we can deliver a superior product. And anyone that wants to join, again, I said it last time, and I think everyone knows me by now to know this, like, seriously, call me.
Yeah. Yeah. And well, I'm interested now because last time we spoke, the market wasn't what it is now. And we have seen a drop in mortgage applications, and yet you're still, you said, using your words, not mine, aggressively hiring. Talk to me about that. What is the mindset of True Footage, who is looking at the market as a whole and yet is still actively recruiting appraisers?
I mean, you look at all of the macro data that we have, and whether it's 2009 or the dot-com bust in 2001, or, you know, the crises in the 1980s, and there's still millions and millions of appraisals outstanding. And so we believe that if we do a good job on those appraisals, we can continue to fill our appraisers with all of the work that they want. And our appraisers are excited. We're having our best month yet. It's July. And we've been in kind of a changing environment. And so bring it on. Let's round everybody into a team that can work together and optimize each other and build a community that's enduring through peaks and valleys. I think that's critical to the appraiser journey, right? You can't bail on the industry or a person just because of some macro environment. You got to stay strong and hold firm and troubleshoot and figure it out. And that's exactly what we're doing. Love it.
We're talking with John Liss. He is the founder and CEO of True Footage. When we get back from the sponsorship, John, I want to talk to you more about what steps, specific steps, appraisers can be taking, should be taking currently. I also want to talk to you a little bit about technology and how that can help in the current market environment. But first, I want to pause here, folks, and remind you of some great sponsors. Of course, Working RE is where I go to get my information. And folks, it's absolutely free. You just need to sign up for their website, their blog posts. It goes right to your inbox every single week. Great information, keeps you in the know as to what's going on in the appraisal world. Check them out by navigating to their website. It's Working RE, as in working real estate, workingre.com, and sign up for their free blog. Of course, we're sponsored and longtime sponsor here, Alamode. Alamode is the world leader in report writing software. It is the leader in mobile software. It is the leader in uploads. It is the leader all the way around, and there's a reason for that, folks. The tools that are found in Alamode are just amazing. I had a recent podcast with a guy by the name of Jim, who taught us all of the great ins and outs of Alamode, folks, stuff that I've been using this software for almost 30 years and did not know about these amazing tools that are found in the software. Check them out. Go to alamode.com or call them at Alamode. And of course, our new sponsor here is SYNAPSE. SYNAPSE, of course, is helping you to not be the appraiser that you've been in the past. What do I mean by that? Let's admit it, folks. You lick your finger, you stick it in the air, you come up with the adjustment. Stop doing that. no more. Synapse will help you to be able to support those adjustments. If somebody were to ask you, hey, where did $65 a square foot come from for that GLA adjustment? Could you answer that question? Folks, you could with Synapse. That's what it does for you. It gives you the data to allow you to make great decisions. Check them out by going to the website Spark for Appraisers. And in the middle of the screen, click on a little button called Synapse. Again, it's Synapse for Appraisers. You can find them at sparkforappraisers.com. All right, folks, welcome back to the program. Want to welcome back Mr. John Liss of True Footage. Welcome back.
Thank you, sir.
Good to have you here. I want to talk a little bit about technology. You're big on tech. That's kind of where your start happened, right? And it's one of the big reasons you created True Footage. It's one of the reasons that you bought Synapse. Talk to us about technology and how it can help struggling appraisers in a down market.
Absolutely. I think technology can solve for a couple things. Obviously, the first part is speed, right? You look at some of these form filling softwares and how they've made appraisers faster. That's the first thing that lenders are looking for. And then you look at a product like Synapse, which is perfectly rooted in objective appraisals, which speaks to the fairness element. It speaks to doing great work, and technology can help protect appraisers from liability, as well as reduce the number of revisions, which in turn gets appraisers more work. So it's critical that people be thinking about adding these new tools into their systems as much as they can.
You know, it's interesting. I was doing a coaching session this morning and we talked a little bit about the market, and we were talking about hiring. And one of the things that my client said was, well, Dustin, in this down market, I don't know if I dare hire. And I said to them, I said to this individual, I said, well, when do you buy real estate? Right? You buy it in a down market because you know it's going to cycle back up. And I know things, especially with appraisals. Again, I've been doing this 27, 28 years now. And I've only seen one or two cycles, right? If you look historically, these cycles continue. I love your idea of use the downtime now to prepare and to buoy up your business with technology, with human resources, whatever it is, to help when that market starts to spin back up, which it will. You started talking about steps appraisers can take currently in their role. And a lot of these things, I think, appraisers thinking, yeah, I wish I'd done that all along. And certainly, coulda, woulda, shoulda. But as you said, it's never too late. My question for you, John, if you're an appraiser right now, today, and you're seeing what's going on, and maybe your volume's down, 30%, what specific advice would you give to that appraiser of things they can start doing today to start to bring that back up?
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, I think we've touched on a couple of these things through this call, but I think the first thing is, realize your mental toughness. And that's something that you just spoke about. You've been around the block a couple of times now, seen a few cycles, and you navigated it. And there's many people, especially with the average age being 63, who feel the same way. So there's ways to navigate it. And a lot of people are a lot tougher than they might realize just from a couple of down months. But I think focusing on the things that you can control: customer service, systems, processes, client engagement, and really trying to push on those things versus focusing on the things that you can't control. So that's my first recommendation. And being really just diligent about, meeting turn times and getting things in on time. And I think working for a big company, while historically has not been kind of the norm in the appraisal industry, it allows for a lot of flexibility, and it allows for a lot of protection in a market like this, and a very positive community of like-minded people. And so there's certain elements, especially in a market like this, that a platform, like ours or others could derive and drive. And so I think that considering all the way that the industry is moving and focusing on kind of the future and thinking about, how people want to succeed in that future and where kind of larger companies play a role in that.
Awesome. Let's talk more about that, John, as we close out today. Let's say that a listener has not heard our previous podcast where we, of course, talked about True Footage in depth, talked about you, got to know you a little bit. By the way, that episode, if you're interested, I would encourage you to go back. It's episode number 715 when I first spoke to John on the air. But talk to us more, John, about True Footage if people are not familiar, and what you guys are doing that may be a little bit different than what we see in the marketplace.
Yeah, so we're a national appraisal company. We focus on having appraisers who work exclusively for us and provide them with tools and community and support from back office and a front office and other elements to focus on appraising. And we're training new people into the industry. We're seeing, some veterans have some of their most successful months ever, even in the market that we're in. And we're having a ton of fun. We're launching in more markets every month. We are big pushing into Florida, California, Texas, and some other states right now. And our goal is to continue to add top appraisers around the country and work together to get through this time and be extraordinarily successful.
John, I appreciate your optimism. I appreciate your approach on things, and I appreciate you joining us today. Thank you.
Appreciate it.
That was John Liss, founder and CEO of True Footage, folks. And I know you're experiencing lots of things in the market right now. Great advice by John. Continue to stay tuned to this program as we continue to navigate this market and continue to help you to be the very best that you can possibly be. Thanks, everybody, and we'll catch you next time.
You've been listening to the Appraiser Coach podcast with Dustin Harris. If you like what you hear, please give us a 5-star rating and post a short review on iTunes. For more in-depth insider information on how you can make more money as a real estate appraiser, visit theappraisercoach.com and sign up for the All-Star team today. Thanks for joining us. And now, get out there and create some value.